Hello, my friends. Great to see you. Welcome to everybody who's here in the live chat today, including our members of the channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you for your support. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the news that has the internet buzzing. And oh my God, are we buzzing today? Are we buzzing? I am buzzing. I've been up since 4 a.m. going through a lot of this, and there is a lot of it. In addition to that, you're going to catch me doing interviews throughout the community. So when you hit the subscribe button, be sure to hit the notification bell as well so you get notified of that. And I'll also be jumping in talking about my 35 years in Scientology and leaving with 3 generations of my family. Thank you, everybody who's in the chat right now. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in so we can get out those notifications. Let's make it rain. Notifications. Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys, of course, know we are going to get into No Nora and Mitch Brisker. We're going to talk about some protesting news. Ton of stuff went down in Sacramento. So much that we're going to talk about. Oh my gosh. And of course, I want to thank the mods for being here. Nancy's here. Grace Kelly is here. And I think my Tony's popping in. If he's not here already, keep an eye out for him. You never know where he just pops in. Okay, so let's kick it off with, I like to start with a little bit of a giggle, something that made me laugh. And this definitely did. I have been missing this. I really have. I'm like, we need more mini streets. Confident Chris, we need more mini streets. And he has provided. We have a little mini streets clip to look at. And if you follow Scientology Audit Streets LA, the real Streets LA, you know that he has battled these robots in Hollywood for quite some time now. And Mini Streets is now taking up the cause and standing up to them. This is from Confident Chris. Let's take a look.
Are you kidding me? They gave your ass a tail, man. They gave you guys a little ass tail, man. Let's see how long you make it out here in Melrose, man. You don't even know what area you're in. You're at Melrose, buddy. This is the hood, man. You know how many people get assaulted out here? You know how bad LAPD is out here, man? Garfield, your goofy ass. Can't even move. You say you're on delivery, man. You haven't moved in the last freaking minute, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What are you, some sort of advertisement or something?
The glasses, the little sunglasses. I'm dying. They're so great.
Meow. Meow for Palmadessa. Meow for Palmadessa. Meow for Palmadessa, Garfield. Why don't your ass get out of here? You're blocking the sidewalk, man. You are blocking the sidewalk. Man, you're
It is nice to see Mini Streets follow in the footsteps of the original suites. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm glad you guys like it too. Isn't it hilarious? I just love it so much. Is Pearl Snappy here? I see a hey Pearl Snappy. Hey Pearl girl. Good to see you if you were here. I love that. I love when my friends jump in. I love it. It's like we all get together in the morning. It's the water cooler, right? When people used to go to an office and go around the water cooler or the coffee pot and like, what happened? What happened? That's what we're doing here. Except, I don't know, do offices still have that? Maybe it's different. And hi, Rika. Looks like she popped in. Fluffer Squirrel UK. Good to see you. All right, let's take a look at the SP Chef. If you guys are not following the SP Chef, he was a Sea Org member. He shares a lot of his story, his experience with Scientology over there across the pond. And he is doing something that I am just loving, 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 loving. And I hope that he keeps doing it. So we're going to take a little bit of look at his suppressive cooking, where he's going to be making some tiramisu while sharing about Scientology. I love this so much. In fact, I think Fluffer Squirrel, he even mentions you in the video, possibly, I think, is the inspiration. Check this out.
Well, hello there, darlings. It has been brought to my attention that although my name is Samuel the SP Chef, I haven't been doing a lot of chefing lately. And so, on the bequest of one of my subscribers, Fluffer Squirrel UK, I have now decided to do a little cooking tutorial. Today, we'll be doing tiramisu. Now, because I am going to do a recipe that I learned and that I did while I was working for Scientology as a SEAG member, and I worked for Scientology as a SEAG member.
It's as loud as it will go on the video. I have it turned up all the way.
For everyone who doesn't know this, actually, from 2005 until I left in 2012. And from 2000 and
So he shares his story and then he gets into doing the cooking, which is just fantastic. We're going to take a little look at him putting it together here. This fabulous tiramisu. And he shares the secret sauce, people. He shares the one ingredient that might shock you that really makes this tiramisu take off and be fabulous. Listen to this.
then espresso, we need 500 milliliters, which would be about 17.6 ounces. And last but not least, we will add a sprinkle of salt, or as I like to call it, a sprinkle of suppression. That's right, we're going to add a little suppression to this dish because suppression brings out a little bit of flavor in everything.
I agree. Suppression brings out a little bit of flavor in everything. You heard it from the SP chef. If you are not already subscribed and following him, do. I've got links down below to all the videos that we're going to be talking about today. And I recommend that you get over there and watch them in their entirety if you can, because my clips do not do them justice. A lot of people out there doing great work. Blow Drill, great to see you here. And did I see Feral Cheryl? Feral Cheryl, I got my little body thetans back there. Oh, and by the way, I gave my sister the one that you made for her. She absolutely loved it. My dog tried to take it. It's a whole thing. I have a giant schnauzer who's almost 100 pounds, thinks he's a lap dog, and he loves little stuffed animals. He does not tear them up. He carries them around and he lines them up. It's kind of weird. It's weird in all the right ways. Let me say that. So, but nonetheless, good to see you here. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go from funny to a little creepy, probably more than a little bit creepy. This is just a clip from Amazing Things 783, who does a little overview of the Scientology gold base. Also has been known as international management, where they are where David Miscavige and his giant empty religious technology building sits, used by no one. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
The most dangerous areas in the world and is impossible to approach. Located in California, the Gold Base is the headquarters of the Church of Scientology. The highly secured property spans 520 acres and houses over 1,000 staff members, which live in harsh conditions with a daily wage of only $50. Former members.
Now, he got that wrong because it's a weekly wage. And then after Social Security comes out, it's more like $47 a week, not a day. But still, it's fabulous.
Have accused the Church of Scientology of physical and psychological abuse, and some reports include claims of forced labor, confinement, and harsh disciplinary measures. The mansion has an underground bunker, barbed wire fences, cameras, and patrolling armed guards.
Who wouldn't want that? Cameras, patrolling armed guards? Ooh, sign me up. Sounds like a prison, because it is. It is. But I just love that the word's getting out, right? This is the beauty of social media, reminding people why we are here doing this, exposing Scientology as a human trafficking cult that they are. We are here for it. So, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, you guys know that I shared with you yesterday that my family had an intervention with me, and I am going to go to Hawaii for my dad's services. My dad passed away earlier this month, and I didn't want to go because of what is going on with my Tony, but now I'm going, and we've got things figured out. So somebody sent me a video from Hawaii Scientology, of which I'm going to check it out while I'm there. You know that. How can I not go back to the beginning of it all? And I mean the literal beginning. So there, I'm going to show you this clip of a staff member who I've known since I was a child. His name is Wilbur Chun, and he is the staff member who gets spoken to here in this clip, where Freedom from Religion is in Hawaii at the org and has an interaction. When I was a child, I thought Wilbur was an older man, and now I am an older woman. I'm 53. He's got to be up there. But let's take a look at this clip from Hawaii, from Freedom from Religion in Honolulu.
Sea org or your staff member?
Staff member.
Your staff member? Do you?
Who are you?
My name is Stan. So we're just I'm doing a film in the org. I have some friends who used to be actually part of this org back in the day.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like who?
Yeah. Natalie Webster.
Okay.
I think she left here, went on to become a Sea Org member.
I mean, Wilbur knows exactly who I am. He was also involved when my stepdad died. My first stepdad passed away a couple of years ago, and my sister Lana went home to Hawaii for the funeral. She was not allowed to attend the funeral. And because it wasn't even at the Scientology building, it was somewhere else, but Scientology, including Wilbur, would not let her attend. So she sat in the parking lot while the funeral for her stepdad, who she identified most with in terms of a father figure, and she was not able to attend. It's completely ridiculous. So he completely knows Natalie Webster. It's interesting that he asked, "Why are you filming?" Because Wilbur has not gotten the memo that there are people out live streaming as a form of protest against Scientology. And this is the thing we've talked about here on the channel, that it's not like information goes, "Oh, did I not show you that?" Hold on. No video. Okay, let's do that again. Rewind. Okay, here we go. Hold on. You guys gonna see Wilbur here. Oops. Not that one. I'm going to show you that one afterwards. Let me pull it back up because, of course, I X'd out of it already. Blew my mind that he is still there and kicking it. And it also really kind of surprised me that he did not know about the protests, that they were happening or why, because he asked him, somebody who knows would know. And it's not like other people have been out there. I want to say I've seen maybe 2 or 3 people on YouTube who have done videos in Hawaii. So it's not like some of them don't know. I just don't know what the deal is here. Oh, and my heart kind of breaks that Wilbur's so elderly and, and still there. Okay, check it out.
Over 50 years.
50 years. Okay. So are you are you in the OT levels, I would guess?
I've done a lot of.
Okay. No, that's fine. I won't ever press
Yeah,
anyone.
why are you filming?
Oh, it's just, educational. People, Sea Org or your staff member?
Staff member.
Your staff member?
So he gets into the whole well, I guess you guys probably missed this part. I'll play it.
Do you,
Who are you?
my name is Stan.
Mhm.
So we're just I'm doing a film in the org. I have some friends who used to be back in the day.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like who?
Yep. Natalie Webster.
Okay.
I think she left here, went on to become a Sea Org member later on. So
Mhm.
yeah. How long have you been in Scientology?
Over 50 years.
50 years. Okay. So are you are you in the OT levels, I would guess?
I've done a lot of.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I want to say he's done at least through operating Thetan level 5. He probably had to go back and redo some things. Makes me sad too. He does look very frail. Maybe I'll see him when we're there. Now, this was filmed a couple of months ago, which I missed who gave me that comment, but thank you for that, because it does explain why he doesn't know. He might know now. And I'm pretty sure that the Hawaii org will be given a heads up that I'm headed that way. I've already said that I probably go by there, and I'm going to do that when I'm in Hawaii. So it is not a secret. It is out there. And hopefully I get to see some of the people that I knew before, and I would love to actually just visit and have a conversation. We'll see though, right? Because you know how Scientology works. Now, what I found when I was looking to see if I could find out a little bit more about Wilbur, I found this ditty from Scientology where Wilbur got some award during the pandemic, where if you used a lot of hand sanitizer and you followed Scientology's strict rules about it that you'd get awarded, and then they would make these videos for people. So this is Wilbur when he's in Los Angeles. But here's what's interesting, you guys. You know the Fountain building, the Fountain Hotel that's across the street from L1 Hubbard from the blue buildings, the one right next to the parking structure? That's a hotel. I've never seen inside before. This is inside. The video starts inside the Fountain Hotel. Yes. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. And this was, I want to say this was 2020 or 2021, but this is Wilbur in Los Angeles at the Fountain Hotel.
Hello, I'm Wilbur Chun. I'm in the Fountain Hotel, and I'm in Los Angeles doing services at the Advanced Organization, which is right across the street here. Come with me.
Yeah, that's not weird. But yeah, I've never seen it. I mean, it was just the hallway that we got to see on the inside, but I've been very curious. What's the decor? What's the vibe? It still gives prison, but a little nicer. A little nicer. Like maybe the kind of prison that Martha Stewart was in. Maybe. But yes. Yeah, creepy. Definitely creepy. But I'm looking forward to it. Headed out there, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think it's going to go well. What's not going well is the leader of Scientology in San Francisco, who is none other than Aaron Kyro. Aaron Kyro owns a skateboarding company and has a very large following on YouTube. And he became the leader, which is known as the executive director of Scientology in San Francisco for the D.O.A organization. This dude's now denying that. He's all like, no, man, I don't run Scientology. I don't run Scientology in San Francisco. We're going to look at a clip of growing up in Scientology where Aaron addresses this and plays a clip from a video where Aaron Kyro, trying to get mixed up with the different Aarons, is denying it using a piece of Scientology technology called the no answer. He no answers this question. Scientologists practice that. Not answering a question is a literal drill in Scientology. You can tell he's been really drilled for the media. So take a look at this.
About Scientology.
Yes.
So I saw this article. I'm sure you know it's going around. You became the leader. You look excited too. Of Scientology in San Francisco.
So I'm not the leader of Scientology. Let's just get that very clear. So I am a Scientologist.
Okay, explain that.
Yes. So when I came here,
did you see that no answer? Guys, this is maybe a 5, 6, 7 minute segment. We are going to watch the whole thing. He was confronted with the piece of information that you're the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. And he responded by saying, I am not the leader of Scientology. Let's get that straight. Well, thank you, Aaron. No one said you were the leader of Scientology. They said you were the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. But if someone's not completely paying attention to what you're saying, that's what you call a no answer. He answered a different question than what was asked. All right.
Yeah, it's very much a technique that's used in Scientology. The no answer, the acceptable truth, the short story, just different versions of basically lying. And we know why he's lying, because if he came right out and said, actually, you know what? Yeah, I run Scientology, right? I'm not just a Scientologist. I run Scientology in San Francisco. There are videos, there are photos, there's so much evidence. And if you go watch Growing Up in Scientology, that entire video, Aaron lays it all out with the receipts showing, yes, he runs Scientology in San Francisco. Does he run Scientology overall? No. But as Aaron pointed out, nobody asked you, dude. Nobody asked you if you run Scientology. Do you run Scientology in San Francisco? Oh, I would just love to interview Scientologists and let them try that no answer stuff. Because guess what? Not only was I drilled in Scientology on the no answer, but I was also drilled on how to get that answer. So crazy that he's doing that. Now, let's go over to Sacramento because you guys, so much was happening in Sacramento yesterday with D.O.A. Liz Ferris was there. I saw her there and a bunch of other people, including Ken's channel. And big thanks and shout out to Ken's channel for putting together a ton of clips for me on this. I appreciate it. Thank you to every single one of you who emails me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. When you send me clips, tell me what you're seeing with timestamps of a video, if you're not able to clip it, is super, super helpful. I appreciate it so much. There's so much content going on right now with everything in Scientology. It's hard to cover it all. Plus, that helps me kind of see and gauge what does have you guys buzzing. I do drop into a lot of different chats because you guys know I'm a lurker. I am a total lurker. I'm lurking all over the place, just to see what are people saying, what are they talking about, what am I being emailed, what's the deal. And yeah, so that's how we determine a lot of what we share here. I heard a ton about what went down in Sacramento yesterday, so we are going to take some good looks. We're going to take a good look at that. CB had a question though. Are there orgs on the other islands? No, not that I'm aware of. There might be what's called like a mission, a smaller organization, but frankly, I would be very surprised if that happened. I would. So I think it's the only org, and it's on Oahu. I got to make sure I look up the address so I can find my way over there, stumble upon it. Okay, let's go to Sacramento and see what D.O.A. is up to. First, he meets Saul Goodman YT, which is, I think, Saul Goodman on YouTube. And I swear this is a brother from another mother situation. I always love when people meet in person in real life. Check this out.
Saul Goodman's here. Saul Goodman is here. Hey, what's up, dude?
What's going on?
So, if you're looking for a way out, stuck in a cult, don't call Saul Goodman. Call the SPTV Foundation. What is it? 727-266-5797.
Yes, I like this guy. I gotta give you a hug.
Dude, I need a hug. Dude, God. Fucking hell yeah. I also brought you some little blessed stuff.
Oh, thank you, blessed be the megaphone gods, the holy sacrament.
It's so funny, the whole friar things that he's doing and all that. If you guys are following along, if you know, it's just hilarious. It's just so funny. Yes, Liz Ferris was in Sacramento. We got a clip that she's in as well. So let's check out. We're going to look at when the fire trucks came, because it's not partytology until the fire trucks and the police show up, which they did out there in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Fire! My heart. It really warms my heart.
Great.
You know why? Because I think they're trying to get out.
Yeah. It's a good chance it's a false call, guys. We've had the fire department called like 30 or 40 times on us streaming.
He's letting them know what it is, And then, too, right? It is not a partytology unless the police show up as well, except they're in Sacramento. They showed up on bikes, which was pretty cool. And very different experience from his swatting in San Francisco. Let's take a look at this.
Hi. Doing good. Yeah.
I just love these police officers because they just roll up on the bikes. Hello, welcome to the swatting. Okay, how are you? Are you okay? I mean, it really is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a call of service?
Somebody might have mentioned somebody had a gun.
Oh, you have another gun call?
Possible bomb too. A possible bomb and Jesus. Well, no, that's yeah. Everyone's good. This is you guys did an amazing job. First off, because I just did it in San Francisco. I had the same thing.
What's that?
I just had the same thing happen in San Francisco 2 days ago, and they had me on the ground for about 40, 50 minutes, handcuffed.
On the ground?
Oh, not on the ground for 20, like maybe 10 minutes, but they had me handcuffed. But you guys did an amazing job. No, that
How cool is that? What a difference, right? What a difference a day makes. What a difference a location makes. Just Rob pulling up on the bike. Hey, how are you? Are y'all okay? Everybody safe? Everybody good? Because we heard there might be a boom over here. No? All right. Okay. No pew pew? No? Okay. Let's get back on our bikes. Lily, yes, it was literally that was the nicest swatting ever. Now, I have not been to Sacramento, but now I'm just really wanting to go because it just seems like a friendly place. Friendly place. What a difference. Total difference. Atkins, that's right. Some cops rock. I agree completely. These cops were amazing. Maybe it's the biking, right? You're getting the fresh air, you're getting the exercise, getting that heart pumping. It just fuels the happy chemicals in the brain. D Fink, thank you for becoming a new member of the channel. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray for you. Thank you. Stasia, your comment is awesome. I might be a little too early in the video to read it, but I agree. Farrah, yes, I love how they're so nice and listening. I agree. Okay, so fun does not stop there. Next clip, he's actually talking to Ken from Ken's channel, who I got to meet Ken when we were out in Clearwater. It was fantastic. Let's see. Let's pop in and see what they are chatting about. And I think we get to see a little peek at Liz Ferris as well.
night and day.
Francisco one was horrible.
That one was wild. Wild.
I mean, I was literally watching it going, are you kidding me?
I thought they came out with the stretcher, and I thought I was going away to the mental hospital.
Look at that. Liz Ferris got that whole GoPro tech going on. I love it.
Because I said panic attack, so I was like, oh, they're gonna interpret panic attacks.
I heard you ask, are you 5150 me? And
Yeah.
I didn't know why they came to that conclusion.
Yeah, that was they were rolling out the gurney. I was like, oh my god, I'm about to be handcuffed to this thing. I haven't done this yet. This will be a first.
And who in the heck was that lady afterwards that came afterwards that was just like, why are you here?
No, she's cool. We're cool.
Oh, okay.
She brought me a cookie yesterday, and we made amends. And my
So does that mean I made amends for what? Bringing you a burrito.
night and day.
That's right. What's Liz get for bringing that burrito? Oh, I love that. And that was a really kind of cool thing of note. If you did not see it on the live stream, there was a dust up with D.O.A. and I think it was brain fog, and they communicated about it. This is like the theme that you're going to see today. They communicated about it and they worked it out. I'm telling you people, like something has happened in the universe here where it's not perfect, but there is definitely this energy of, hey, let's talk about this. Let's try to have dialogue let's try to kind of put the emotions a little bit further out to get through, and let's try to understand. And maybe let's try not to assume that the person who's saying something we disagree at is attacking us. Let's find out where that's coming from. That's something that they did. We're going to be talking about what happened with Mitch Brisker and No Nora and Liz Gale later, because that's what happened then as well. It's just really interesting to me. You know what? Tell me in the chat. And if you're catching this on the replay, you tell me in the comments. Are you feeling this? Is this just a me thing? Because I feel like it's a vibe and I am liking it. You guys tell me though. So great to see Ken's channel and Liz Ferris out there as well. Well, the fun kept going because Mini Gizmo arrived. For those who don't know, Gizmo is Scientology Audit Streets LA, his dog, which is part of the cast of characters of Minis, and I absolutely love it. Let's take a look at what happened when Gizmo showed up there in Sacramento.
He's got Gizmo. You got Gizmo. Oh, wow. Oh, dude. Oh, shut this place down. Shut this place down. Me and my lawyer, we were the anti-slap. We got this. We're all over the place.
Love it. It's just so cute. All right. So if you were watching, and if not, you're going to meet her. She was referred to as Crazy Meth Lady. So we're just going to go with that title for now. So for point of reference. But there's a plot twist later when it comes to this lady. But for now, we're going to look at what happened when she first showed up there in Sacramento, this crazy meth lady, as she was being called. Let's take a look.
Where's he at? Like, this is a
Yes. Yes.
They're like called 10 West speakers. You guys are doing? Hi. I mean, I walk around like I'm on like the television anyways, bro. Ass hats all day.
I feel like that look just says it all. That one streamer's look, I just love it. I almost want to back up and see if we can see it again. Wait, hold on. Love the outfit too. Love the outfit, D.O.A. The woman kind of goes on. Talking to herself. I don't know what's in that bag. I'm kind of curious about it. Frankly, it was just, just odd. One of a couple odd characters, because that happens when you're out protesting, right? New characters get unlocked. Weird things happen. Here's the thing. In Sacramento, they did not employ blind tech right off the top, which in a lot of other areas, the second they see somebody, especially Portland, they are closing and locking those doors faster than Florida in a hurricane. I mean, shutters come down like whoosh, they go into lockdown like it's the apocalypse and they're all running to the bunkers. It happens fast, but they didn't do that. And you know what? Praise be that they did not, because it made for a lot of laughs and something else we're going to look at where they look like there was some kind of dust up inside of Scientology Sacramento. What was happening here? We're going to take a look at this because it was like, hey, what's going on? Seems like somebody got a beef.
Is pointing at us.
Oh, he's watching you. Oh,
he's pointing. It's like this person was this high, this tall. What's the deal?
Oh, you're in trouble, Jack. Oh, you're in trouble.
Plattenberg.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
People are watching.
Blind tech. Hi.
Hold it faster. Come on.
She's like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to like fold these volunteer minister shirts and make it look like I'm actually working so I don't have to go clean the bathroom.
Get those stats.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble. Ooh, she pointed the...
Oh, then this woman shows up. And I think I know this lady. She looks familiar to me. It's hard to see, but she reminds me of somebody I knew in the Sea organization. Might have been at the Advanced Organization of Los Angeles. I'm not sure. Blow Gerald, see if does this lady look familiar to you from back in the day? Let's take a more of a look.
Finger at you.
She is backing him up. She's got that finger pointing at him and he is backing up.
Oh, yes, yes. Tell him.
That's right. Get in his face. Get in his face, girl. Get in his face.
Yes, tell him. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Oh my God.
I think that was the girl that came out and said all the posters were trash.
Interesting. Who is that dude? But yeah, he took a licking but kept on ticking. He was still there, but she was not having it with that finger. Made me think that she was senior to him in the organization. Otherwise, he would have clapped back. But you don't do that when it's someone who's senior to you. The answer is yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll take care of that. Yes, sir. And that is it. Otherwise, your FO 38 is out, which in the Sea Org, that's Flag Order 38, which tells you how you're supposed to address somebody senior to you. So it's like being rude. If you're being rude to a senior Sea Org member, they say your FO 38 is out. Hey, that'd be good for the protest. If you guys are protesting and there's Sea Organization members there, be in any way, be like, hey, your FO 38 is out. Flag Order 38. They will know what you mean. They might even get a kick out of it, but they will know. They will know. So this guy, who's getting the finger pointed at him, I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what he was trying to say. Okay, so Blow Drill's saying, hard to see her face. She does look familiar, though. Yeah, I'm getting flashes with her, and I want to say it was in a service organization. In other words, one in Scientology where Sea Org members provide Scientology services. I know it was at the Blue Buildings because that's where I was in the Sea Org. That's right, Beth. FL38 is out. Your FL38 is out. Your ethics are out. You're out 2D. You're out of valence. Scientology is big on all the outs, except if you are gay, you cannot come out. Don't be out about that. They are not down with that. No, they are not. So also Sacramento, there's somebody who comes up and she's like, no, I'm not a Scientologist, but she did take the time to read the signs. But then plot twist with her as well later. So let's peek.
No, probably not.
Are you the reason why stats are down? No, we're not. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Are you a Scientologist? Are you?
No.
Looks like she was locked out. Again, why did they lock the door? Shut the door, sure. But why you locking the door? Nobody tries to go in. I shouldn't say nobody. It has happened here or there, but not in any type of, like aggressive way. Then she stops to read the signs. I love this.
I don't understand. It's so weird what they're doing. I'm not sure.
No, probably not.
So we're like, ooh, what is up with that lady, right? What's the deal? Well, we find out because Sacramento had not gotten the memo yet. Nobody sent a telex or a fax or a pigeon with a note. I don't know how Scientology is doing it these days, right? They did not find out about blind tech. It's like they did not know that this was being employed across the country, all over the world, really. Okay, so the Journey 2020 is saying that guy is Mike Klagenberg. He is the president. Okay, the president of, because where are we? Sacramento. It's a regular org. So what would he be the president of? Would he be the executive director? Maybe that could be it. The Journey 2020. Tell me if you think that's what it is. Yeah, people are saying like, yeah, that lady was lying. Want to join a cult? Hey, Liz Ferris. Yep, blind tech fail, Nancy Drew. Every day, all day, blind tech fail. But they do get with the program in a little bit. But first, let's look at what happened while we're all looking in. And, this cast of characters that have been rolling around, acting any which way. Are they inside Scientology? No. Would that happen? Maybe. Let's look.
Well, they can come out and talk to me. I was welcomed in.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Why are you all interpolated?
Hey, is that girl? Was that the meth head?
Where?
She just walked through.
I turned my back for 1 second. That is the crackhead, bro.
Oh
Bro, it is.
leave it.
The blonde lady, do you see her behind the flower? She's going to come out. It was like earlier who they called meth head lady. Is that her there in the org just having changed clothes?
They're coming.
Oh my fucking
Get out.
God. Oh!
Boom.
Yeah!
You've been caught. You've been
Yes! Yes!
And there's that lady that just walked by and said she's not a Scientologist. Oh,
Oh my God! What the fuck is going on?
I'm not worthy.
You can't make this shit up. You thought the content was over.
So maybe that one lady's not a Scientologist. She just was like looking for a bathroom, or maybe she thought it was a library and she wandered in through a side door. Methany. Oh my God, that hurts. I have like a rib out, I think. So every time I laugh hard or cough, it hurts. Oh, that's funny though. Methany, busted, paid agitator, right? Allah. Susan, well, whoops, I'm getting all mixed up here. I think you're right, Amy. But you know what? Probably not paid agitator. Just Scientology agitator, but they're probably not paid. The ones outside of Scientology are paid, but they're not paying a Scientologist to do that. They're just doing it. I love D.O.A's laugh. Me too. Tasha says, busted. Like there's not an open window right there. This is the thing. You say these things, you do these things outside of Scientology there in Sacramento with the windows wide open. It's like watching a TV show. Everybody can see what's happening. It's just so piss poor on Scientology's part. You're not even trying. You're not even trying. At least try. Liz Ferris is saying she probably got a free hour of auditing in exchange for that. Yep, that's right. Yadira. Methy payment. Methly payment. That's right, just a northern girl. No truer words have been spoken. The best writers in the world couldn't write this stuff. Yes, this is Scientology, people. This is Scientology, specifically in Sacramento right now. Okay, finally, the carrier pigeon with the note must have arrived that said, dude, close your blinds, bro. Close your blinds. Execute blind tech. Because they did. Let's take a look at that as the party started to wind down after forever.
Call your family. Yes. Call your family. They miss you. Oh, look at you. You cleaned up nice. You got some nice sneakers on. We could almost not recognize you. Oh, look at you. Nice new shoes. Oh my gosh.
So he's saying that this was the same lady. Her hair was different and she had a different outfit on. So this is the woman who was spotted inside of Scientology. So, and Liz Ferris, you tell me, because it's hard kind of to tell with the video. Do you really think that was the same person? I definitely see the similarities. But if Liz is still here, I was wondering about that. Because they totally bust her if it is.
Hi. You just came out of the Scientology building. I almost didn't recognize you. You guys are awesome. You don't look like you're on meth anymore.
Look at these passerbyers just like, you're awesome. They know about Scientology.
Interesting.
Yeah, you look normal.
Interesting.
You look good now. Get off the drugs. Narcanon gave you the answer, huh?
Nice meth character. We love the meth character.
How much did they pay you? How much did they pay you? Is that your car? Get that license plate, baby. Call your family. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So Pam's saying same nail polish on meth lady. Okay. CB thought maybe she doesn't think it's the same lady. Other people are saying yes. Nancy Drew said it's the same person. Pearl Snappy says this is a metastrophe. Methane Kardashian. Oh my God. Was it a character? Was it the same lady? Often, I don't know. But Liz is saying, yeah, wow, different shoes. Asen, why do they all have that Stepford wife smile? So creepy. It's a part of keeping your TRs in. It's something that gets practiced a lot in Scientology. Yeah. That is so funny. Oh my God, you guys are killing me with these comments. Winston, thank you. Winston Smith is making it rain here with Scientology Life After Occult memberships. Thank you so much, Winston. Appreciate that. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Tasha says never ending content with D.O.A. That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Okay, where are we hopping to next here? Because believe it or not, there is so much more. Nancy, you know what? Let's just do it quick. I was going to skip this just for time, but there's this video out of Rome that is creepy AF. Here's Scientology. You can see Scientology. They just do a drive-by through and up to the building, but it really is kind of weird. This is Scientology Rome. Just so you guys can have a little peek at it, let's take a look.
No, go on in. Yeah. Tell him to stay right at the top of the hill. He's going to go right.
So they just go up and you kind of see a building, but pretty much you get the point. It was interesting that it's kind of hidden away back there in Rome. And it's great to know that somebody is keeping an eye on that and watching things in Rome when it comes to Scientology. There is Scientology in Rome. Absolutely. Dogs Unite Against Scientology says, wow, thanks whoever is giving out memberships today. I do believe that was Winston. That's Corn says, oh my God, you guys are going to kill me with this. Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss. Oh, Karen Lee watched D.O.A. all night. You got to be tired. You got to be tired. Hey, Poe on the go. Thank you for being here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, it's just hilarious. It's almost too much, but it's not. It's just shy. In fact, then we'll just raise the bar probably too. Okay, now let's get into a little bit of Canadian news here. PTS for Life, Jeff, was chatting with an old friend who gets pulled away from him, and they have an interesting conversation. This guy, he knew he recognized Jeff, but he couldn't remember his name and definitely did not know that he was declared a suppressive person. He did not know at all. Bubblegum Buster, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's look at this.
My dad, Brian Beaumont?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And again, this is PTS for Life. Jeff speaking to a Scientologist.
He disconnected from me because I started telling my story online about abuse and so forth. And she's going to yank you in. Okay. Hey, is the Justice Chief here? Because I need to speak with her.
The girl was calling to this dude by the door. She didn't even come out all the way. She's just like, hey, get away from that suppressive. Get away from the suppressive. Suppressive Jeff is out there.
You can write a letter. I don't think we're interested on being on your YouTube.
Why not?
So
how do you know it's on YouTube?
You can write a hard copy letter. You know.
I have, and I've tried communicating with my has and nothing. I have. You're such a liar. Well, there you go. That was Brad Melnichuk. He's now in the call center. He used to be the CEO of Able International or Able Canada, I guess. Very high level post.
And now he is in the call center. Wonder what he did. Interesting nonetheless. They're all like, write a letter. Your only terminal is the Continental Justice Chief. Whatever. Because when you get declared a suppressive person, it's this whole thing of like, your only terminal is the Continental Justice Chief because you're suppressive. They leave the door open just a crack because L. Ron Hubbard said that when you label somebody correctly, you're helping them. That's why Scientologists will disconnect from their children, their parents, their family members, because they believe that, well, I love this family member in this lifetime, but because of their actions, they need to be properly labeled by Scientology, because that way the door gets left open a crack for them to come back to Scientology. If not in this lifetime, maybe their next lifetime they can return. And because I love them, I'm going to walk away now. It's a very twisted way of thinking because it's just not true. It's just not true. But that's how they kind of reconcile it in their own brains, that they're actually helping the person by doing this. It is super sick. Okay, you guys, let's get into, I need to like resituate myself here and get comfortable. Stretch it out. We're going to talk about No Nora, Mitch Brisker, and Liz Gale almost breaking the internet yesterday, at least when it comes to SPTV. This was fantastic. There were rough parts there. They got together. For those that do not know, there's been beef. Mitch Brisker has said some things. No Nora has said some things. Other people have said some things. And then it's just like friction. And they're finally like, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a third party help with kind of maybe, mediate a little bit, right? And Liz Gale did a great job. She muted those people. She was not afraid to use that mute button. When they got out of pocket, she just muted them. And then you know what? They took a moment, they recomposed, and they were able to continue on with the conversation. So we're going to look at a couple of different clips from it. This first one, I love too that the video was called, Why Can't We Be Friends? Which isn't that the name of a Scientology lecture that used to get handed out? to people who are antagonistic about Scientology. I can't remember. Can somebody, any of my ex-Scientology, my ex-cult friends here, wasn't it? Why can't we be friends, or can we ever be friends? I'm in my brain, I'm seeing a cassette tape with that. And in my brain, I'm remembering that you would give it to somebody who was maybe antagonistic to Scientology. Side note there, but interesting nonetheless. So let's take a look. This is kind of when they first were getting going.
I think maybe the one thing that I haven't done is it says something about it, like it's a little bit like an ethics thing, like making up the damage. Like,
okay, so just to kind of, for those of you who might not have caught this, so Mitch Brisker had said some nasty things about Jenna Miscavige, and Oh No Nora was saying, hey, that is something that like I want to talk about, that you did that, and he feels. He did express a lot of remorse over it, sent an apology, but the question was, does it need to be a public apology given that it was a public statement, even though it was on what he thought was a private server, but he himself admits, you know what, that just doesn't matter.
Reparation, like what would you consider that? Should I put the apology like in my hand on my community page? I'm perfectly willing to do that. It was a shitty thing. I mean, I'm kind of a recovering asshole. So, you know, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm trying to hold myself accountable here in general.
Props to Mitch for saying that. I know it's kind of funny and he's joking, but no, I mean, I think he really means it. And that is a thing in leaving Scientology, and depending on your personality, if you have like the seeds within you to be an a-hole, Scientology will amplify that and they will grow it. They will often seek it out in you as an individual and validate it, and say that, oh, you're able to impinge, all these justifications for that type of behavior. So it's very validated and grown in Scientology. Let's watch a little more of that.
Plus, I haven't repeated anything like that. It's just not my style. It was a fluky thing that happened, and I don't have a beef with Aaron, and I certainly don't have a beef with Jenna. I mean, I've known her. I knew her when she was a little girl at the base, and I really wish her well. And I stupidly thought I was talking on a private server, which is no excuse. But I mean, when I didn't think I was blasting it out publicly. And it was, I embarrassed myself and I apologized for it. And so if there's something we can do to wrap that up and move on to the next issue, that would be great. Like, what would you consider that I would do that would make up for it?
They talk about it more. And I think the whole, public apology route, because if that's kind of where you made the statement, then it would be appropriate, definitely in my eyes, to be able to go back and make that apology in a public way, maybe even reach more people than the original statement did. But I thought that, you know what, there's some growth there. And what I saw with both of them, it got heated at times, but we're still trying to be accountable for their actions and the words that they used and carve out a path forward, which is what the important part is. So let's take a look at another point that I thought was so interesting, because this has been in my head for a while now, the generational differences, not just here in our community, but even outside of it. It's a common thing when you have people from different generations, things are done differently. I used an example the other day with you guys about how my daughter parents my grandson versus how I parented her, how my mom parented me when it came to discipline, and how much it's evolved and it's so much healthier and makes sense. But my first reaction to how my daughter parents was, what are you doing? This is weird. But then when I actually sat down and thought about it, I realized this is actually right. This is actually correct. This will create more happier, well-rounded humans to do it this way, to educate and empower instead of punish and push them down and make them afraid. Because that's how I grew up, was fear, intimidation. And a lot of you have never been in Scientology. You grew up the same way. This is not unique to Scientology. It's got a certain twist on it with Scientology, being forced to do training routines with your siblings and other things like that. But it's very similar. And those generational differences in reality can come across as being offensive, like the way some of our grandparents or great-grandparents, depending on how old you are, and words that they felt were okay to use, that later on we were like, you know what? No, it's not okay to use those words. We need to stop. And you evolve. And when you know better, you do better. But sometimes you need to know better. And it takes other people in the community to help guide each other and guide us over those bumps. Instead of you make a mistake and then, get completely attacked for it. But, and that's where I think these dust ups they go too far, because then you're just feeding it. That's where the fighting comes in. But there was an original question or a misunderstanding. And when you can address that, then you can move forward from it. And if you're willing to know better, do better, then even more so. But you got to learn, and to learn, you have to have that connection to other people in the community that don't see things exactly as you do. And this is a point that Mitch makes, and I'm like, props to both of them for this. Let me make sure I pull it up this time, so I'm not just sitting there being entertained by myself watching it.
The other thing I want to say is that, yes, I think that, generationally, we need to work out things, because this is something that has been a conflict in the ex-Scientology arena, not SPTV, just ex-Scientology, for over a decade. This is not a new conflict.
Right.
It didn't stem with me and you. This is something that I fucking argue with my mom about. Okay. Because like you, she was a heroin addict, got handed a Dianetics book, quit heroin cold turkey, and then, kept going with Scientology because it cured her of her heroin addiction, which is insane. I know, Mom.
It's crazy.
My mom did a lot of crazy stuff.
I mean, I wasn't that easy for me, man. I had people that shit on me.
Yeah, my mom is one of those people where one day she was like, "Well, I'm a non-smoker," and that was it. That was the last cigarette she had. Yeah,
Well,
she's
good for
just
her.
that's boom. But also she made a lot of other decisions that were also kind of like, that's questionable. So Scientology, one of them. But
it is a very interesting point about the generations. And I think that's something to keep in mind. And not just generational differences, but differences in the Scientology experience. Because my experience was different from yours does not invalidate or that disproves your experience. That I had a lot of pressure and was put in a room, and 2 Sea Org members younger than me, and I was 18, 19 at the time, tried to coerce me into ending my pregnancy of a baby that my husband and I wanted to keep. That was my experience. Does that mean that happened to every single Sea Org member? No, but it sure happened to a lot of them. But because it didn't happen to someone, they might come out and go, well, you know what? That wasn't my experience. That never happened to me. How can you say that? Because there's this feeling sometimes, I think, that somebody else's experience being different from ours in the same area or situation somehow invalidates that, and it doesn't. This you see in households. You have siblings that can grow up in the same household for years and then have disagreements later because they don't agree on what their childhood was like. Because for one of them, it might have been traumatic. For the other one, it might not have been. And both those things can be true. And I think that's a learning point here with all of us, not just people leaving Scientology, all humans, but definitely us leaving Scientology in this community, is to remember that because our experience was different, it doesn't invalidate the experience of somebody else, right? Just because I didn't see something happen in Scientology doesn't mean that it didn't happen, because I didn't see it. I can only speak from my experience. That's what each of us, all that we can do is speak from our experience. And I think what Mitch is beginning to realize is that the way he speaks from his experience can come across as very invalidating the experience. And when you say it to people who experience something horrifically traumatic, it can be offensive. You get offended by that. If you think of even like outside of Scientology, that you have 2 people who are a couple, they get a divorce and they split, right? And one person might say, oh, the other one, that person, he's a narcissist, he's horrible, he's abusive. That he or she, whoever it is, goes on to meet somebody else and they have an amazing relationship for decades. Where's the truth in that? That was the experience of those 2 people together. But it doesn't mean that him or her or whoever and somebody else can't have a different experience together. And I think that's just kind of the thing to just remember, that we have different experiences and that's okay. Let's just try to hear each other out and not internalize it and make it about our own story when it's somebody else sharing it. Even if it is, I'll be honest with you, I've heard a couple of stories. Sometimes it's hard for me to listen to. But at the same time, I'm happy for that person. I'm glad that you didn't experience what some of the others did. Thank goodness. I'm so glad when we can find somebody that didn't have an experience that was so horrific. And when you're a Scientologist or a staff member or a Sea Org member or at different levels in the Sea Org, that experience is different for every single one. So they're never going to be the same. And I get why people get upset about that. So I think that this really opened up that conversation, and is good for all of us to remember, even if it's with your friends or your family outside of all this, right? 5 people see a car accident, you get 5 different reports of what happened. Does it mean that they're all wrong? No, but from where they stood, that is their reality. Give it to them. Give it to them. I think of it like with my grandkids. And my grandson, no, this was my son actually, when he was little. And he would always say that, he was Spider-Man. That's who he was. He wore the Spider-Man thing. I'd take him to playgrounds. He would introduce himself as Spider-Man. One kid came up to him and is like, "You're not Spider-Man." He goes, "Yeah, I'm Spider-Man." The kid goes, "No, what's your name?" And my son says, "Spider-Man." And he sticks to it. And the other kid gets kind of pissed off. "You're not Spider-Man." And my son's like, "No, I'm Spider-Man." And then the kid says, "I'm Batman." And they went off and they played. So you can either join in somebody's universe in their reality, right? Or you can at least agree to disagree and not attack them for it. It's hard. It's really hard to do. I'm going to say we see this, but I think that is a core issue that we face and comes up when we're talking about something like Scientology and abuse and trauma and different experiences. So we just got to try, myself included, to remember that and do the best that we can. Because there's a lot of really well-intentioned people in this community and around who sometimes come across like complete a-holes. And I just think that we can make that better, working together as much as we can. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. There's going to be dust-ups. There's going to be fighting. There's going to be arguments. But I think what we're seeing now is, hey, let's try sitting down and talking about it and get to what the core issue is. And let's find what we can agree on. Because you know what happened at the end of this video? Mitch and Nora were collaborating on an idea. It's just like, I was looking for the pigs that were flying. Like, what's happening? It was amazing. So let's take another clip from this here. And this is kind of on letting go and stopping the hate.
You definitely have corrected what you said in your video about the kids in Scientology. I will give you that 100%. Okay. What I don't want to see anymore is people working with or collaborating with or being on the side of destruction of the people involved in this movement, and additionally not telling the hard secrets. Like, this is a thing where we have to tell our hard stuff, and sometimes that doesn't make you look great. I've apologized for a lot of things over the years to specific people who I don't have an opportunity to speak with, for my personal involvement in their Scientological journey, etc., and things that I did. However, I think that we all need to kind of take that approach, but that's just my 2 cents. I'm not in charge of your content, Mitch. I want to make that abundantly clear. That you definitely have corrected what you.
That was super healing too. And they were talking about what he was talking about in regards to children in the Sea Org. I think he definitely got the message and was showed enough things to see that, yes, that actually is still happening. Absolutely. So, okay, this was one of my favorite moments, even though it was a little heated. I could not just help but think, like, this has to be put on merch. And they work through it, so it's fine. But I loved it. And I think even Nora found it a little entertaining.
You were like a pit bull chasing a meat truck.
Pitbull chasing a meat truck. That is, like, I think my favorite quote of the evening. I thought it was funny. You guys tell me in the chat or the comments.
Streaming my stream where I'm trying to clarify something I said, and you're nonstop personally attacking me. And I was hoping to end that today. Okay. Was my sincerest hope is I wanted to do that. Because
okay, hold on. I muted for a second. Friendly reminder to both of you. We're not calling names. FYI.
Well,
all right. What do we want to do
painting
here,
me as
guys?
a bulldog chasing a meat truck. That's awesome.
That was
that was an analogy. You went at it.
Oh boy.
You went at it like a bulldog.
These two, you guys. These two. All right, Nora, you're muted. No one can hear you. Hold on. All right.
And you know, when Liz needed to mute to kind of calm things down, she did, and it worked. It worked.
Right. All right. I've never mediated anything in my life, and I'm not sure I'm nailing this one.
Liz, Gale, you did great. You did great. Yeah, absolutely. The mom finger, right? I saw that too. And Dempsey, yeah, it was an analogy, not a name call. And I get that too. And it really speaks to when you're having a conversation with somebody, if you want to get to a resolution, maybe when you're upset and you're angry is not the time to send that text or make that comment, right? When you're in that headspace. One of the things that was different is they both seemed to be, even though things got heated at times, and you could see it in Nora. She was listening. You know, you could see that it opens the door to like, okay, I'm going to try and listen and not take it in and personalize it when you're trying to get to resolve something. It is so hard to do. And I give Liz so much credit for being that person there and doing it, because that is not easy. And I agree. She did a great job. She was awesome. I just loved it. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's see. Now I'm like, did I just share this clip? I don't know. So let's look at it because it's from the same thing here.
One of the things that this talk has done is I
Mm-hmm.
have now completely recalibrated my perception of you, Nora. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, everybody shut up. We're stopping right now. Thank you all for coming. I'm not joking. We're ending this.
I'm gonna
right
just
now.
I'm not saying
Hearts
anything.
for everybody. Thumbs up. Thank you for the
Mine's not working. I shut it off.
Mine
Sorry.
doesn't work either. Thank you to the looks like 1,800 people.
Yeah,
You're
mine's
so
not
cool,
working.
Nora. You guys are so much cooler than me.
I shut mine off.
I really am going to get us out of here. And thank you guys, everybody. I hope that you saw I hope you guys all saw grown adults working through things in lifetime. And I hope that inspires you to maybe have a hard conversation with one of your friends or somebody in your life. And then back away quietly like we're all going to do right now. Okay, bye.
See y'all later.
That, they got there. There were times in there where I thought, oh gosh, this is just going to like get nasty. And I think if it was only the two of them, it may have. Having somebody else to literally hit the pause button by muting you. I mean, I think a lot of us wish we could have somebody following us around who did that at times, because it's done from a place of love with an intention for resolution. And that is what I noticed. Liz had in mind, like, okay, what is the purpose, the goal while we're here? And she kept pulling it back to that, because you can really go off the rails on it and get into the name calling and get into the jabs and getting all that stuff in. And you saw that strip away. And this is a small first step, people, but it is still a step. It is an example. The other day, we talked about how Mike Brown and Lara FM did this. Now, you don't have to do it on YouTube if you don't want to, but consider it if you're having issues. And always remember what is, the intention or the goal. Mitch actually has a perspective that many of us don't when it comes to Scientology and David Miscavige, on account of the access that he had. And that's where sometimes the rub has come from people who have been in the Sea Org, who had what they would consider to be, which is a traumatic experience. For Mitch, his experience for him was traumatic, but because you can't compare trauma and get into that. It's just trauma. We have to let people have their trauma and not tell them, you know what you experienced was no big deal, because that doesn't help anybody. Can you imagine being told that? And it's unfortunate that we live in a world where we have so much worse trauma that could have happened. I remember when I left Scientology and I would talk to people about it. I would have friends who would say, what happened to me, it was nothing like what happened to you. And I would stop them and go, hey, it's not a competition. My trauma and experience has nothing to do with yours. You tell me yours. I want to hear it. I want to be that person to hold space for you and hear and witness, be witness to what happened. And I want to be witness to your recovery. And we're going to make mistakes. And we're going to say the wrong thing at times. We're going to do it in this community. We're going to do it all over the place. It's human nature. But can we give each other the gift of going, okay, let's try and get to what the bottom of really what the issue is or the misunderstanding. Can we not fuel it? And you guys play a huge role in this, in the chat with your comments. You can say whatever you want. You are open to your own opinion. I just ask that you keep something in mind. Are you stirring the pot, or are you trying to work towards resolution? Is it constructive? We are here to bring down Scientology. We are here to expose Scientology and to expose cults as part of it. At least definitely I am. And many others I know are as well, because hopefully in my lifetime, Scientology will be no more and we can focus more on other cults. You guys are such a big part of that. And with each other too, in the chat. The chat is its own entity and it is alive. And the chat has tracked down information, stopped criminals, found things that were game changers in this community. All of you have such a huge impact. It's a lot of power. So you guys have a lot of power in what you're doing as well. You go into everybody's different chat. And if some people choose to go around and say, hey, so-and-so saying this about you, so-and-so saying that about you, kind of like you would in middle school, maybe, that is your choice. But at least recognize what you're doing. It's trolling. And if that's what you're there for and that's what you're doing, okay, right? We can't control that. But people around you might start to recognize and see that and might not be here for that, might be here for actual healing. So recognize the trolls when they're there. Recognize the pot stirrers. And you don't even have to do anything about it. You don't. You don't. But you guys have a lot of power in this community. And I think the only way we're going to get through this and have more healing is with your help too. And being witness to all of it. And you guys do an amazing job at getting the word out and supporting and all of it. So I think it's great that you get to see it. You know, you witness the trauma, but also the healing. So I support this, and I think that we should keep going with this. I want to share with you a little clip from Hey Carrie Ann. She protests out in Portland, and she watched this, and I loved her response video to it.
I am so humbled and pleased and proud to be a small part of a community of people that really do their best to walk their talk. And you guys were an example of that today. And Brain Fog and D.O.A. were an example of that yesterday. People are just doing it all the time and showing up and doing the hard work and making themselves an example in real life, in real time. And I'm just so impressed and pleased.
I just love that because again, it sets an example, and nobody's going to be perfect. And yes, there are still things that we could pick at, and we will. That's kind of human nature, but I think you guys get the point, and you guys have so much power in all of this. Okay, so let's see where we at. What time is it? And keep in mind too, I think one of the things because I do see a lot of comments, right? He plugs his book. He plugs his book. Okay. So he plugs his book. I think a realization that he had in there was that, hey, maybe he needs to talk more about the story and not just buy the book. I wrote it in the book, go read the book, but share these things. I would like to talk to him about very specific things regarding David Miscavige and what he witnessed. I think that's valuable information to bring forward. And it probably is in the book, but I'd rather hear him say it and be able to have dialogue about it. So I'm probably going to reach out and do that because I think it's interesting. And there'll still be things about a multitude of people that might bug you. So, like I said, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect system. And we all also as individuals get to decide what content we want to consume. And if there's a creator or a guest and you don't want to see it, for you, it's too much. It's just not your vibe, then don't. But then just don't. It's just so interesting and fascinating to me. And here too, it's like we live in a different time here on YouTube with social media and with the internet where many people don't read books anymore. They might do audio, right? But podcasts, doing vlogs, YouTube videos is a way. If you're here on YouTube, you're here because that's how you're consuming your content. Right? Doesn't mean you don't also read books, but that's where you want the answers in the content. So it can be frustrating, I think, to hear, oh, but buy my book. I wrote it. It's in there. No, I'm here. I'm here now. I want to hear about it. So I have questions I want to ask about, but yeah, It's just different ways of getting the information out. Bad Thayton. Read a book. Wait, where did I hear that before? That's right. That's right. And sometimes old habits die hard. But no one's going to leave Scientology and be perfect. People who have never been in Scientology. I have met people that were never in Scientology but had struggles and challenges similar to mine. And I find that so interesting, and it gives me a lot of hope. And then I've seen people with, out similar challenges and struggles, yet they still struggled in ways that made me go, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's just that's the beauty of all of it, and getting to know everybody and see it all play out. Sherry Jones says, if you try to deprogram yourself, it's going to get messy. I agree with that completely. Neuropsych, yes. If we don't like it, we don't have to watch it. That's right. You don't have to watch it. You can just walk away. Just walk away. If you find it very triggering or upsetting and you're getting into a nasty place and that's not showing up as who you are, take a step back. Maybe then don't watch it, right? Or watch it when you're in a different headspace. But going and trudging through it and then becoming part of the nasty dialogue doesn't actually help anything. Some people, that is what they're there to do because they're trolls. And that's just a part of internet life. There's always going to be trolls. They're always going to be there. But sometimes we just get upset and then we start kind of trolling ourselves. And for some of us, that's just not who we are. It's just a moment. We're in a moment of being upset about something. And I would hate that if every time I was upset that somebody called me out on it and tried to use it against me, when in that moment of anger and frustration, yeah, I probably said things that I didn't really feel, but in that moment, those feelings are amplified and out it came, and it was hurtful. And that's what I've learned in leaving Scientology, that it's not about living life perfectly. It's about giving people that grace and understanding and forgiveness that you might maybe hope for yourself, because we have the power to do that. And that is a huge gift to give somebody. To even tell a friend, you know what, you don't got to tell me why you can't make it. Just tell me you can't make it. I'm going to give you all the grace about that, and it's all right. It doesn't matter what that reason is. I have people that do that for me, and I absolutely love them for it, because right now I'm in a season of my life where there's no predictability. I know what I'm doing an hour from now, barely. After I do this show, it's just, I am up and down all day and just trying to handle a lot of different things. And well, a lot of people are like that. You never know what people are going through, that old thing. All right. I love books too. I love your comments. We're not going to solve it all today. You guys know that. We're not. But I thank you all for being here and for participating. I think we're living in an interesting time, especially in this community. And we can just try to be open and have some grace for people. So thank you so much. Now, I've got a couple things brewing that I want to do. So check that notification bell so you get those notifications. I saw a comment earlier at 25 minutes in, they got a notification, but hey, at least it came. Before you leave, if you all could hit that like button, I would truly, truly appreciate it. Let's see. Nancy, am I forgetting anything? I'm not understanding what you're saying. So you tell me after. Thank you so much, everybody. Most importantly, I hope you all get out. Wait, here, Nancy's telling me something. Nancy, I don't know which group you mean. We'll sort that out afterwards. I keep telling her, I'm like, you got to be super black and white with me when it comes to in writing, or I'm not connecting dots. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again for being here and all your support. Liz Ferris, thank you for your Scientology Life After a Cult memberships. I wanted to make sure I saw that, and thank you for that, everybody. I hope you all get out today and have the most amazing cult-free day.